Well, hi everyone. This is Coach Ted Wood, and what I'm here to visit with you about is every Friday we're going to be doing a session, kind of a mastermind coaching session where we can work together. It's free. There's no charge for it. There's nothing being sold at the end of the event. We're just going to try to see if we can't be of value to each other. It's going to be Mountain Time, 2 o'clock, Eastern Time, 4 o'clock. This particular Friday, around the 10th of May, somewhere in there, we are going to have two sessions, one at 2 and one at 4. But ordinarily, we'll probably be just having one at 4 o'clock, unless it gets so big that we have to make changes. The items that we're going to cover here will be how to, the importance of finding a better peer group, conquering the quarantine, show me the money, self-improvement secrets, and getting God's help. We'll move forward here to go to the next slide. It just introduces me here. I'm Coach Ted Wood. I've had some experiences in my life. We could talk about that later, but these are my credentials. I do have a bachelor's degree. I was actually working on my doctorate. I never finished it. Real estate investment training and mentoring, residential and commercial real estate, certified professional behavior analyst, certified life coach. That's through the International Coaching Association. Seasoned facilitator. I did board of director meetings for small and medium-sized businesses, and you can reach me a lot of different places. I guess Gmail, Coach Ted Wood at Gmail. My website, which I'm just really kind of starting. It's up, it's running. It just needs a little bit of more beefing it up, and we'll work on that. Is CoachTedWood.com. My YouTube presence, and that's what I really want you to remember, because I'm going to be very, very prolific in what goes up on YouTube. It's youtube.com user / Coach Ted Wood, no caps there. Twitter at Ted's a Coach. I haven't really used Twitter much, but I'm going to learn as we go along. LinkedIn, Ted Wood. Facebook, Ted Wood. And that's enough about me. We'll get into what we're going to be doing here. If we look at, the importance of finding a better peer group, Tony Robbins himself, and I remember reading this, and it was life-changing to me. Robbins research, everyone who goes from one level of success to a higher level of success have one thing in common. They change their peer group. That's easy to see and visualize when we're talking about a prisoner talking to the warden as he's getting out, if you know what I mean, because his peer group is not very good, and it's going to get him right back where he was. Well, our peer group will get us right back where we are. So my point is, so expletive what? If you don't implement the opportunity that you're given here by what Tony Robbins himself came up with from his Robbins Research Company, what the flip, So let's figure out ways we can implement that. We'll work on that in the session. Really, we're going to be talking about conquering the quarantine. Here we got certainly the little guy versus the big guy. That's the truth. Even though those viruses are very small, they get to be the big guy, because they can be a real problem, obviously. Okay, conquering the quarantine. We are talking about a number of different things. One, you still have to break radio silence with people. You can't sit back on your couch and fall asleep watching movies. Good marketing outperforms great salesmanship every time, and by a wide margin. And it's neat that a lot of the marketing we can do inside ourselves. I'm going to explain Desert Storm, and Blake Lemoy will be with us, and Blake will be explaining the Desert Storm marketing, how the concept that worked for us in Desert Storm can work for you in your marketing approach, and how it's helping him in his own personal marketing approach. He's amazing me how quickly this young man is really taking the bull by the horns. Okay, but you got to ask yourself, where are you trying to go? Are you an entrepreneur? This basically is for entrepreneurs. This training, this what we're going over, is for people who live by their wits. Maybe you lost your job, maybe whatever, Maybe you're just a sales guy. If you're working for a company, you're an entrepreneur if you're a sales guy. Because I don't care, they don't need you if you aren't selling. So you got to figure out how to do that. So that's a mission too. And I always like the term, it's when you're calling people, anyone will do. If it's Zeus, Thor, Venus, or the goddess Diana. We need to talk to the people that can make a decision, that can help us. Amen. All right? The question is, what you doing? And how's that working for you? If it's not working, maybe we need to change things. Over on the right, I have a picture of some pretty big ships there. You want to sail big ships? You best be for going where the water's deep. That's the bottom line there. All right, show me the money. We're going to talk about that a great deal in our session. Next is self-improvement secrets. We have here a dream board. I'll talk more about that. Been very, very effective for me in my lifetime, using dream boards and visualizing where I'm trying to go, that sort of thing. We can talk about that. And I have the waterfall here because water flows best downhill. I'm getting back to the concept of dealing with the person at the top, or the one little thing. If you're not talking about people, we're always talking about things. We got to start from what's really, really critical and then do the little things as we go along. Okay, the 80-20 fractal, what we're talking about here is that the 80-20 theory. We've all heard about that. 20% of the salesmen bring in 80% of the sales. 20% of what you do during the day gives you 80% of your success. Well, that's a fractal. It repeats itself within itself. It only takes 3 times, then far less than 1% of your salespeople are bringing in more than half of the business. It's just an incredible number. It's something we need to be thinking about ourselves, okay? The law of 7 touches. This is a critical change that we talk about these things, but we don't implement them. We'll be talking a great deal about the law of 7 touches, how it affects your ability to get things done, make things happen. We're going to get into ask and you shall receive, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open. We're talking a little bit about increasing our faith there as well, but we'll go deeply into these subjects, and we are all going to be able to voice our thoughts, our opinions, our feelings, and hear what other people have to say as well. All right. We'll be doing these sessions every Friday. Getting God's help. This is really our final slide. Abraham, when Abraham was planning to sacrifice Isaac, most of us have heard that story. He kept moving forward, faith in God that he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. And at the end, God found or placed or whatever, Abraham found a ram in the thicket and didn't have to sacrifice his son, but instead ended up sacrificing the lamb. Well, I can't tell you how many times in my life, just moving forward when I really didn't know what I was doing, sleeping from my labors, working, getting out there, making some things happen, has made all the difference in the world. The good Lord will provide, I think, all things to those who believe. If we believe and have faith, we can go somewhere. And that's a big part of what we're talking about in these groups. What we're going to do as we go along, this is our really first serious session. we're going to try to get enough people together where you can meet each other, learn who's who, and get your own little groups. Get the names and get groups and sessions going of your own, or come to the sessions that we do. All right? Prove me now herewith, that I cannot tell you how effective two things were for me in my life. One, when I started saving 10% of what I made, and when I started tithing, paying 10% of what I made to do something meaningful besides TED. Y'all can do that. We'll talk about that. But that changed my life. There's just no question about it. That's how I got to the place where I'm not worrying about the coronavirus. I'm not charging any money for this. Okay? We'll just see if we can't find ways to be of help to each other as we go down the road. Fear not, little flock. That is a quote strictly from the Bible, that God's going to take care of those who have faith, and that's where we need to be, and we need to get to that place. Okay? I use this concept, and the waters parted. We need to learn how to get God's help. It's there for us. We'll be talking about that. We'll be working on that. And the more we can do on that, the better off we're going to be. End of story. I mean, again, I got my information up again. The session below in this thing, in the comments below, or whatever. It's not the comments, but it's the description of this YouTube video that we're making here. And below will be the information on how to get to the session, how you do it. Thank you so much. God bless you. Very best to you. Take care. See ya. Bye.